it's not about which one is the best. It's not about that buster signals are better than other signals or stuff like that. It's just about the structures that they
Mm,
are working on. Because if you go in a signal group that you have no idea when the signal will come because that trader based his trades on technical analyze, for example, and he doesn't know when he will enter in the market. That's why we also have this one-on-one meeting where you can ask all the questions, see how everything is working, and see for yourself if it's for you or not. You don't even need to take a decision in the call. It's absolutely no problem. Have the call,
mm.
ask all the questions, and after that, if you are not ready in that call, think about it's absolutely no problem. Do again more research about us, and only after that take a decision. But yes, like you say, people need to be skeptical.
Or somebody who did it, who knows how to do it, and can give you guidance. Because, as I said, I was trying myself some stuff, and he was telling me, yeah, okay, no, but this was wrong. Like, do it like that, yeah, or try the other one because, yeah, it's a good idea, but this has some risks. So check the other one. So it was a guidance that I had with him, and so this was like really important.
Xenofon, thank you for accepting the invitation, and I wanted to share your experience with trading busters.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm also glad that you sent me this request. So good to hear from you and talk to you.
Great, great. Uh, let's start, with the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how old are you? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Uh, just to
Yeah,
know you a little bit more. It will be great if you can answer to this.
sure. Xenofon Lemperos is my name. Originally, I'm from Greece, but I live in Sweden the last 13 years. I'm a construction engineer and environmental engineer by background, and this is what I work with. I work with a company that develops software program for engineers. Married with two kids, two small kids. Yeah, so my time is like more or less full with everything, either work or family. Yeah, so this is me. I'm 39 years old, and yeah, did I forget something or yeah, no.
No, it's actually a lot of informations. Thank you for sharing them. So you say something, here that oh, my time is quite full. Job, quite important job, family, two kids. I know what it means to have kids, and people that are watching us and have like small kids, they really understand what that's mean. Okay,
Yeah, it's
that take
another
a lot of
full-time
time.
job.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. And with all of that, you also do trading, and it will be another aspect that I would like to get into more details later on in this interview about trading, job, life, and how this trading concept based on statistics and probabilities can help you not to quit your job or forget about your family, but else, actually, making more free time for you, even
Mm.
if you have another source of income. But this
Yeah.
type of trading, you already saw that it doesn't require all your time and effort and all the focus that it's promoted outside the screen all day and all this stuff. Stefan, tell me,
Mm.
how did you find us in the first place? How did you discover Trading Busters?
I think it was 1.5 year ago. I don't remember exactly. I remember seeing some of your ads in Instagram. Actually, a really impressive ad that you had at that time. Then I also found the um, signals that you send. So I think this is where I started getting contact. I get first time in contact with one of your team, and he explained me the whole process and what we do. And since then, I think it was a year ago, more or less, like October 2024, when I joined Training Masters and the mentorship program.
Okay, so
So
basically you get first contact, it was through buster signals.
Yeah, yeah. Or no, I also I remember. Yeah, I remember also watching a webinar that you did, like a live one. Um, and then yeah, it was. I remember that was when I first contacted. Like I sent to like the email to you to your
All
team.
right. So after the masterclass, but first
Yeah.
contact, first product, let's say that you got from us, it was Buster Signals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Many of our mentoring program members went through Buster Signals first. They place them, they see that it's working.
Mm,
You don't need to stay there all day and watching or
mm.
changing the take profits, stop losses, and all this stuff.
No,
They went
exactly.
for.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but it was also like before this process, let's say the buzzer signals, I was also like I was involved with like in around like 3 months before that with some other, let's say, traders. But this is what like maybe mainly locked me to the whole trading busters, or it was that the other was mainly they were sending signals like through Telegram, and you have to be there. Like you have to. They were saying sell now or buy now, and it was actually it was kind of stressful, and you had a bit of FOMO at that time. Like okay, yeah, they sent it like 5 minutes ago, so should I go in now? So I went in. So then you lose some money, or maybe you gain, but then you lose some other time because you act on like really uh, ad hoc. So actually, with the buffer signals, it was easier because I knew it was a specific time. Okay, let's do that. And then I also, because I'm an engineer in my background, and I like to learn how things work. This is what got me more involved to understand. Okay, you were saying like statistics and probabilities. It was something that I did in university. So okay, it sounds more solid, let's say. So let's investigate this one. Like how would it work? Because the other one, it was just like guy who had a lot of followers and was saying, yeah, buy now, like gold. Okay. Everybody rushed. And then, yeah, sorry, it didn't went good, but we went for another signal. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is why it also like I was at that time, I was looking around, like searching for this type of trading.
Yeah, the problem, the problem that we try to solve first, because that was the first project that we have, Buster Signals. We try to solve a problem in the industry, and that's exactly the problem we try to solve. Offering a structure, to these signals, because
Yeah.
if you you can go literally like hundreds of other trading groups. uh, it's not about which one is the best. It's not about that Buster signals are better than other signals or stuff like that. It's just about the structures that they
Mm,
are working on. Because if you go in a signal group that you have no idea when the signal will come, because that trader based his trades on technical analysis, for example, and he doesn't know when he will enter in the market. He will enter in the market when the market will tell him to enter in the market.
mm,
And if his
yeah.
strategy is based on market price entries, then he will send market price in the group, like buy now, sell now. We also have those type of signals with 5 take profits,
Yeah.
TP1, TP2.
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
you
It
have
was
no
like that.
idea about the money management. You don't know how to place the money management.
Mm,
They will say, "Oh, TP5 is closed," but if it's go against them earlier on, but only hit TP3, nobody tells you to close or not to close, and he will say, "Oh, TP3, we made that much money today, but you actually got a loss because you didn't close." So
yeah.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah. And it
Literally, you
was
have no structure. You cannot have a money management, and you need to be there on your phone each and every time to
exactly. Exactly.
place it, try to calculate it. So that's really not the way of doing trading. Where Buster Signals solved that problem, as it was uh, every single day at the same hour, so you can
Mm,
set your alarm
yeah.
at that specific hour. It's pending orders, you place them, and quite that's it. So we had a great feedback for Buster Signals, and my intention was not at that point to teach people how to trade. To be honest,
Okay.
uh, it was just let's make some money from my trades. Like let's sell it. It
Mm,
was quite that's it. But when people saw that, okay, so this is quite different, uh, and start asking George, how can I learn this? How can I learn? How can I learn? And I think after half a year after we launched Buster Signals, we opened the mentoring program because we had a lot of requests from people that want to, as you said, what's behind that. Like I want to know. I am the
exactly.
type of person that want to know what's behind everything. It's impressing me, and I want to find out. So there was a lot of people that ask, and that's why we opened the program. But yes, in the beginning we had the Buster Signals only, and it was a great feedback from the people. Uh, from the people. Uh,
Mm.
what type of trading did you try before besides signals? Xenofon? You said you tried signals before Buster Signals, but did you try uh, also to learn from other people, or it was just
No, it was mainly like getting the signals and then trying it. Um, then, of course, I think every trader, I don't want to consider me as a trader because I think it's more like, yeah, I mean, I'm a rookie still, although I have some knowledge. But anyway, everyone who has traded, I think he or she tested themselves as well. They say, "Oh wait, I will buy now," like out of nowhere. I will click the sell button. Yeah, I can give like $10 or like $100. No worries. And then again, so it's just like a gambling, the same way that you put money onto a team and say they will win. It was the same. So I think everybody has done it, although maybe they don't accept it. But then, so I did it, but it was long time ago. I think it was 2000, maybe 15. And at that time, maybe, yeah, I lost my first 100 euros. Like I put on, I think it was plus 500, the trading platform.
I used
Uh,
that as a broker in the beginning also. When I
yeah,
started to trade, plus 500 was launched.
yeah,
So it was like they start using offering bonuses, that because they launch. It was everyone was talking about back
mm,
then about
yeah. I
about it.
think it was, yeah, I don't know when you started, but it was at that time, like, I think it was like 14, 15, 2015 that I tested. And it felt like really like I tried to read some books, but I didn't put much time on it. And I said, okay, maybe it's not for me at the moment, at that time, because it appeared that it needed a lot of concentration. I was starting working at that time, so yeah, I said, yeah, leave it, maybe for somebody else. But yeah, I think it was the first time, but it was out of nowhere. Like I was just looking at the graphs and saying, oh wait, it's going up. I will
That's
also
why.
buy. Let's buy. Or it's going down. Let's sell. And then, oh shit, we lost some money. Yeah, no worries. um, yeah. So before that, like before summer 2024, I didn't do anything apart from that, like 10 years ago. Uh, so yeah, it started, and actually, I don't remember how it started, to be honest. Like even with the other signals that I was working, I don't know if I saw an ad somewhere on Instagram, because
If you're
yeah,
looking for trading, there are a lot of ads that will pop up one by
yeah,
one.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
so
since then, because I'm doing a lot of uh, trading now, or I'm going into web pages and checking. I think all my cookies and all these like kind of settings are showing that, yeah, here is a trader, so feed him with more ads. Yeah. So I get a lot of ads actually.
um,
And this is also, sorry, this is also one more thing that um, you're getting a lot of ads. So in the beginning, you must be also careful not to go into a scam or maybe something that is sketchy and you lose your money, because a lot of people might have done it, and a lot of people might say, yeah, no, trade is a scam. It's not. You just have to be careful. You just have to do your research. And yeah, okay, maybe you risk some money in the beginning, but do your research first. Like try to
Yeah,
understand how it
that's a
works.
problem. It's a
Mm,
problem in the industry, you know. The I do think that the industry had such a bad reputation, especially in like the amount of money that are losing the money in trading. You know, they say okay, 95% of the people are losing money in trading. Uh, it can be even more than this, you know. But in this percentage, also, and the majority of this percentage are actually the people that come here after they saw a guy in Lambo in Dubai sending
mm,
signals, you know, free signals, let's say
exactly.
even free signals, you know, and they enter with absolutely no knowledge at all. And what can happen? Nothing good. If you make money, you'll make it for a short period of time. End of the day, you will lose it all. Uh, 100%. Yes. And basically, those people are the people that are put in that percentage. You know, if there would be people like us that are treating trading professional, uh, those numbers are not that bad at all. I mean, like I do think that trading it's above a lot of many other businesses and industries in a matter of how many people are succeed in this industry. But because of those people, you know, the industry had such a bad reputation, and that's why people need to be skeptical in the
Yeah,
beginning and
yeah.
do a lot of research about this. As we offer first bust signals, you know, it was not that expensive. You know, it's affordable for everyone. Try it, see if it's working, see if it's for you, and only after that think about, you know, adding more money into your trading account maybe, or
Mm,
going forward and, you know, join a program, mentoring program, and learn from that person and all those stuff. So don't spend money in the beginning. That's why we also have this one-on-one meeting where you can ask all the questions, see how everything is working, and see for yourself if it's for you or not. You don't even need to take a decision in the call. You know, it's absolutely no problem. Have the call,
mm,
ask all the questions, and after that, if you are not ready in that call, think about it's absolutely no problem. Do again more research about us, and only after that take a decision. But yes, like you say, people need to be skeptical
mm,
because there are a lot of scams. In special, you uh, are bombarded with ads, and if
yeah.
you have no experience, you don't know first which one is actually lying or not. I mean,
Mm,
if you see 10 people that are showing Lamborghinis in Dubai's and vacation, and you see me or maybe other two as I am with, you know, professional talking about trading risk, and you in your perception it may be that okay, those guys are good, you know,
so
that's the
yeah,
perception about trading. So
yeah,
yeah, it's quite danger in the beginning, and most of the people start with a scam.
yeah.
It's that's the reality of the industry.
And I
Xenofon,
think yeah.
go on, sorry.
No, I think also it's important to like to understand that uh, money do not come quick. Like even with a program that is not a scam. Okay, like most people think like they see these people in Nambos and like Dubai vacations or like they're living there, and they feel like yeah, in that's me in like 5 months. It won't happen. Like even for them, even for everybody who's successful, it took time and effort. So um, you need. They have to understand that you have to put time and effort, and it's everywhere. It's not only in trading. It's whatever you do, you have to put time and effort and wait it to happen. So you won't get rich like in a month. If it was like that, everybody would have done it, and everybody would be living like rich. So you have to put time and effort, and it can go bad sometimes, but it certainly will go good in the end.
You are more than right with this. Like having realistic expectation
Mm,
it has to be a priority. Even with us, Buster Signals, or you have Buster's bot, we have Golden bot, we have products that, you know, are trading you can trade with them without knowledge. But
mm,
even with these products, there is no way for you to get rich overnight, because these products, these signals or trading bots, they also lose money. They have losing strikes, which is mean that you need to have a money management. All right.
yeah,
Of course, if you go all in and get like a 3 months winning streak, you can turn $1,000 in 50K or more.
mm.
But
What's
you
the
know,
chance?
what's the
Oh,
chance? All right. So we
what's
can
the
have
statistic?
losses. And if your money
Yeah.
management is not right, you'll not be able to go through the negative strikes, which are totally normal in these industries. As in business, you have bad months. Here, you have negative strikes. We don't try to have 100% win rate. We just need a probability for our strategy to be profitable.
Mm,
And after that, manage the risk management in order to go through those losing strikes. So even with Buster Signals, Buster's Bot, which are great trading strategies and you can make a lot of money, you'll not be able to turn $1,000 into 100K within a month or few months. That's not the way of doing things. Even, I try to promote, I had that $10,000 account, and I show people the trades. Maybe you watch it on social media, because I
mm,
donate all those money each and every month, the profits, and the average that I get on that is like 10%. That's the average that I get on my personal account. Also, man. So that's with proper risk management.
mm.
So of course you can make more. You can double it in 1 month.
Yeah,
But with what risk? If a negative
exactly.
strike will come, it will wipe out my account.
Mm,
So it's not really worth it. So 10% a month on your live account, so you'll not have headings, or shaking your heads each and every time when the trade is open. That can be done. 10% a month. Uh, it is the realistic of this industry. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Long term, it will add on. You want to make more money, add more capital from pro firms, maybe from salary, with what you get from trading plus what you can spare from your salary or the source of income that you have, and build the capital over time.
mm,
Trade safe. That should be the way of doing things. So what do you think about the mentoring program, the structure of the program with the
mm.
homeworks, working with Ivies, your mentor? Can you give us a feedback regarding this?
Yeah, I think it was the whole core of what I did. Like the mentoring program, I think this is what proved to me that okay, we are not talking bullshit here. Like it's something for real. Okay, so actually, when I started and met Davis, I understood that okay, this is something real. A relief was lifted from my shoulders. That okay, it wasn't like a very uh, sophisticated scam or whatever. Although I was convinced, but you never know. Anyway, so the work that I did with Ivis, I don't have another reference, but I'm so glad. I'm so happy that I met him, and he was like very very informative and helpful with all my questions and every every doubt that I had and every like idea. Um, so. Yeah, it was interesting to sit and work with the homeworks and understand like okay how we form the strategy um, that it's more convenient for me like myself. So for example, let's say that if we use the strategy that you have for signal busters, maybe it's not suited for me because at that time I'm working, I'm driving, I'm doing something else, and I'm not on the phone. So this is what helped me, like to focus on where do I have this time to focus and find a good strategy, find like two pairs that they might work. And also he showed me like how do I do it like in practice, like We go to, at that time it was like trading view and checking and like putting some pairs. So, and actually, as I said, because I'm an engineer and he showed me the Excel and like continue with that, I continued like working with this Excel myself. Like I started building my own Excel with statistic and like getting numbers and checking um, like information that I thought would help me to define the strategy. So yeah, the whole mentorship, I think it went really well. I learned a lot. I learned like this, not a lot on trading, but I learned a lot that I need I could use to put the work on. Um, yeah.
Because trading, as I say, is not just about charts, and you probably saw here in the program that trading it's not just about charts, but there are a lot of things that need to be done in order to be a profitable trader. And as you also said, okay, I got Buster Signal strategy, you know, the bots and so on, but that's not the purpose of the mentoring program. You know, you should never enter in the mentoring program just to copy my strategy, you know, to get
No,
my
no, no,
personal
no.
strategy. Because if there is no point in this,
Mm,
in the program, you need to enter in order, you know, to want to master it, you know, and create your own strategy. As you saw, you create your first strategy. After you create the first one, then you can create unlimited number of strategies on
mm,
unlimited assets, markets. It doesn't matter if you want to trade crypto, forex, indices, gold, oil, and so far and so forth. So that's the purpose of the program, to basically build yourself,
mm,
because in that
exactly.
moment, that's the true freedom. You know, when you can do everything I do without me, without Ivies, and without trading busters. I say that's our purpose in the program, to make you fully independent. Of
Mm,
course, you can continue speaking with us and so on, but you know everything we know, so it will be easier for you to adapt to any market you want in the future.
mm. And it
Uh,
was only this that it was, I mean, we had the videos and we had also the homework, but this is what counted also. It was a training that you had the one-on-one, like with a person, or somebody who did it, who knows how to do it, and can give you guidance. Because, as I said, I was trying myself some stuff, and he was telling me, yeah, okay, no, but this was wrong. Like, do it like that, yeah, or try the other one because, yeah, it's a good idea, but you know, this has some risks. So check the other one. So it was a guidance that I had with him. So this was like really important, actually.
this guidance can save you from not losing just a lot of money, but also a lot of time. You
Mm,
know, because if you do a mistake, but you don't know it's a mistake, you will realize sooner or later that it's a mistake. But that mistake, until you realize, you can lose even months, and you can lose money.
mm,
So, you saw when you work with someone one on one, it's just a normal conversation as we have today. You know,
exactly.
this is good, this is not good. You can ask, you can get feedback. There is no limited numbers of Zoom calls that we can input, because I don't believe that everyone can learn in the same way. You know, it's we are all different. Someone maybe need I don't know 10 meetings, someone else only five, but someone else 12. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say okay 5 meetings for everyone, but that guy will learn in seven, and he cannot master it because I say only five. So you know, that's not the way. When you say mentoring program, you are thinking about, you know, uh, one-on-one support.
Mm,
Someone you can ask a question, you can get the answer,
yeah,
and
exactly.
you can debate that answer.
Mm,
You know why? You know, so I say, oh, you do this, and that's it. So okay, but why? Because if you
mm,
don't explain why, that person will have another question again in the future
mm, yeah,
about the same things. But if you
yeah.
would explain why, okay, he will might not have the answer, the same question in the future, because he already know how to think. So the real power of the mentoring program.
Mm. I mean, a mentoring program is something that it's above of a usual course. So a course, it's like it's fixed for a lot of people, so a lot of people can understand it at the same time. And yeah, maybe there are some questions, but the mentoring program was that it was suited for you. So you get the guidance, but the guidance is based on your needs. As I said, like I wanted to create some strategies that fulfill my schedule, my time schedule. So if it was a course, then it would be like, yeah, find your own schedule. We don't care. But the mentorship is that like it has a focus on you, on the student. That's what's the difference from a course, because maybe people can find courses online or like YouTube videos, but still like they're missing like the focus on themselves. And I think that's why I said also in the beginning that yeah, signals busters, for example, I take this as an example. It is a strategy, but it might not fit for somebody. So you need to find your own strategies, the one that fits for you, on your time schedule, on your time zone, and yeah, try these ones.
Exactly. It's very important to have your hours to trade. As the signals, we are trading at 1 o'clock p.m. in Bucharest time, which is
Yeah,
11 a.m. UK time, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken. So, about the UK time, but I think it's 2 hours in front of us.
yeah.
So, trading is not about pushing people take radical decision in their life, as you need to quit your job, or you need to not stay anymore with your business, give up the college or stuff like that in order to do trading. I don't believe in such things, and I think it's a big mistake, guys. If you are thinking of quitting your job because you cannot do trading, you're gonna ruin your life. Trust me on this. All right. You will
Mm,
be even in a worse position that you are right now. That's a bad decision. All right. So that's why, as you say, the hours are important because it's depending the time zone. We have members from everywhere around the world: USA, Singapore, Europe, Asia, from everywhere. So the time zone are quite different. 1
mm,
p.m. in Romania can be 3 a.m. in USA or in another country. So it's not suitable for you. I mean, you're not gonna wake up every single morning at that time, or maybe you are at your job. I don't know. So that's why it's important to build a strategy that fits your need based on your hours. So you will be able to keep your job in the beginning or permanently, because not everyone wants to be a full-time trader. I mean, come on, you have a great career. All
mm,
right. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, I don't know, you can have businesses. Not everyone's dream is to be a full-time trader, or maybe not in the beginning. If they take these decisions over the years, that's something else. But first of all, in trading should be seen as an extra source of income. Add some more money, develop new skills, and things
exactly.
like this. So you don't need to quit your job in order to do trading. So that's why it's important to create your own strategy, as you can basically make it for your schedule. Maybe you want to trade in your time zone at 8 a.m. in the morning before going to work. Maybe someone else want to, as you saw, in the break at work, maybe in the afternoon after they finish work. I don't know. We all have, different needs. So that's why, as you said, a strategy that works for me, purely because of the hours that you need to trade with that strategy, are not suitable, you
Mm,
know and you don't need to change your life in order to use a strategy, but more find a strategy that fits your needs and continue keeping your job, with continue with your career, stay with your family and all these things.
yeah, I
Selma,
agree.
my question for you is, how is to trade, because this is a real problem in the industry, and I do
Mm,
think a lot of people are not making it just because of that. They cannot work and trade because of the technical analysis. When as those signals when you need to be there each and every time when the market is telling you, beside trading with statistics and probabilities, when we choose the hour. If I want to trade on that hour every single day, I will trade on that hour. That's it. So I
Mm,
choose when to trade, not the market telling me when to trade. How do
mm.
you find the balance? Have a full-time job, a great career, having to, a family, two kids, and also trading.
Yeah, I think the most important is to find, like, when you're finding your strategies, is to know, okay, when do I have like 5, 10 minutes to put, so that I will be able to put my pairs, my signals. So eventually for me, it worked well, for example, in the beginning, like in the morning after I leave kids at school, and maybe when I'm on my way to work, or like the first, let's say, minutes before starting to work. And usually for me, because I'm sitting like on a computer, I have an office work, so it was easier like to keep track on that and say, okay, at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's a good time for me. I have, let's say, 10 minutes to put my signals, or maybe after work at around, let's say, 4 or 5. Uh, so I found out that it suited me well at that time. And it wasn't much. Like, the most effort you need to put is when you finding your strategies, which this helped during the mentorship program. And then also I put some time like in the evenings, like when kids are sleeping and I have some free time. But it was my decision, like to try to find something new, like a new pair. Um, so eventually, when you find the pair and you know the time, like, okay, 11 o'clock, I need to do this thing, and that's it. Like, you need just 5 minutes at 11 o'clock to do it. So it can be also, if you're working, it can be also a good chance to do a break from your work and do it. So yeah.
Yeah. So there is no uh, need for you to take radical decisions into your life in order to become a successful trader in these days with this concept, based on statistics and probabilities, because you can basically have your job, uh, your
Mm,
career, and do trading at a very good level, because don't get me wrong, if you're not going to have a job, you will trade the same. So
mm,
it doesn't matter if you have a job, you can confirm that, Xenofon. It doesn't matter if you have a job or you just lay in the bed all day, you will trade for 5 minutes anyway. So
yeah.
it's not about that if you don't have a job, you'll trade more. In
Mm,
trading, less is more. That
yeah.
that's the way of doing trading. Okay, maybe you spend that time if you don't have a job with your family or doing other things that you enjoy, but not
Mm,
trading more. You will trade for 5 minutes anyway.
yeah.
But as you said, 5 minutes after you have your strategy. Don't believe
Yeah.
that you're going to get in a mentoring program and then you learn 5 minutes a day. No, the learning process, now it depends on each person how much time you put into it. If you put 30 minutes a day, it will take longer. If you put 5 hours a day, it will take less. It's quite simple. And it's also depending the learning process that you have. We are all different, and this shouldn't be a problem. That's why the mentoring program can get up to 1 year. Not
Mm,
because it will take you 1 year to learn, but sometimes people learn faster just because they put more time into it. And some other people, we are humans, and sometimes we have problems. Maybe someone start the program right now, get into it for like 1 month, and then something happened into his life. And maybe he
exactly.
cannot concentrate too much, and maybe he can take a break 3 months. I don't know. Let's say
Mm,
until solve the problem and start over after that. That's why I made it 1 year, because I don't want to limit people. We are humans, and uh,
mm,
bad things happen
exactly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't
Eh,
see people paying, and after that, oh, come on, you have 2 months in order to. Nah, come on. No,
mm.
that's not the way of doing things.
No, exactly. And actually, the whole time of the mentorship program is important because you're learning at some point, but then it's the testing and actual like trading, or maybe like trading with some demo accounts. So It's also the practice. So the whole mentoring program, and this is what also my mentor helped me with. It was that, okay, I watched the videos, I learned some information, I put the strategy to work, but then you need also this training time, like this um, testing period where you can have the feedback also from the mentor and continue and checking and start to seeing like, okay, it's rolling and it's going well. So this is also important. That's why it's not just a course that you do it like in 1 month and then okay, you have everything you need. Now you can go and trade. It's like we trade together, we check, and the mentors are helping you on the way during like the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
But I want,
a lot.
yeah. Now, one more thing that I want to say about this 5 minutes also, which is was also important for me because I did also the other, let's say, signals, the stressful ones. It's that these 5 minutes during the day that you need to put your signals, or not signals, like to put your trades, they're not stressful. I mean, you know that at, let's say, 11 o'clock, you have to, based on your strategy, you have to put the buy and sell. So it's mainly like a very fixed, let's say, procedure. You don't have to think. You don't have to be stressed to see, okay, how is going the market? Shall I do this and that? So you know what to do. That's it. It's the same way as you brush your teeth or you prepare breakfast. Like you know how to do it. You do it, and that's it. So you don't have stress. And this was very important because like other people who are trading, I don't know how they're trading. It's very stressful because they see like losing money. They're trying to catch up. So it's another world.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. I've been there for my first 5 years as a trader. That those ups and downs and all that stress, I wouldn't get back to that for all the money in the world. And I'm super honest with this
Mm,
because you literally get crazy and you cannot have a family. You all the time you will be stressed and you will be seen by your wife, your girlfriend, your parents as a gambler because you may be a gambler if
mm.
you trade in
It is
that way.
gambling. It is
It is
gambling.
gambling, so they are not wrong. Trust me on this. They are not wrong. If
Yeah.
they see you as a gambler, most probably you are a gambler, but you
Mm,
don't realize you don't want to accept this. Trading it's about predictability, right?
mm,
Uh, if you do trading and your hands are shaking, or you just smash your phone, or you are nervous every single time, you don't want, so that's a problem, you know. And most of the time, guess what? It is not your problem. It's the problem with basically the system that you are using. I mean, you just need to take a break if you are in that position, checking a bit, and then start trading. But trading shouldn't be stressful.
mm.
If it's too stressful, you definitely do something something wrong. Xenofon, one last thing I would like to ask you: uh, what would you say to the people that are afraid, or maybe they postpone to book a meeting with my team and see what this is about? Because there's no need to buy it on the website or make a decision in that call. It's just about booking a meeting, a one-on-one call, ask all the questions, see the presentation that we have on what we offer. But they still say, oh, maybe I will do it tomorrow because I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Because, sometimes people really don't have the time.
Mm.
You have the time only when you really want to have the time. Busy, we are all busy and we can find so many other things to do. So, what will you tell them
Yeah.
to the people that postpone this one on one call? They're watching us for a long time, but they say tomorrow, next week, next month, and so on.
Yeah. I would say don't postpone it. Do you have actual time like to have the meeting? Have it. Ask whatever question comes up. It's for real. Like you will get help on trading. You will understand things that you wouldn't before. You will need to put also effort. That's for sure. You won't get rich the next day. But it's quite valuable. I mean, it was valuable for me to join the mentorship program. So I don't regret it anyhow, the mentorship program. So yeah, just do it. Like do the call, and I think it would be also interesting to meet for them, like to meet your team. Everybody who I talked with, they were very kind and helpful with all my questions, even during my mentorship program. And I'm not talking about my mentor, but also like support people, or like sales people about other stuff, other products that you have. So everybody was very friendly and helpful. Yeah.
Thank you for this. We really try because it's about good vibe, and that's why it's this one-on-one call. It's also for us to meet you.
Mhm.
We like people that have real expectations, an expectation that we can meet, people with good vibe, people that really want to learn how to do these things correctly. So that's why this one-on-one call, you know, can only help. Because if it's not a good fit for you, that's absolutely no problem. As you can say, as you said, uh, you will get a lot of information, guys. Trust me on this from this call. If you take a decision to join us, that's all right. If not, that's also okay. You can still watch us for another 1 year, or how much do you need? It's absolutely no problem. Nobody will pressure you in any way. But it will be a call where you'll find a lot of things for free. That's all about. Don't take radical decisions or stuff like that. Xenofon, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for sharing your experience with trading bastards and your life as a trader right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to having met you.
Traders, I hope you enjoyed the video and saw how profitable it is to trade with statistics and probabilities. It took me years to develop this new trading concept. Now, thousands of traders use it to make consistent profits. Trading for just 10 minutes a day with no stress, no fear of missing out, and no subjective decisions. But don't take my word for it and see for yourself. If you want to level up your trading game, join my free Telegram community. We have almost 30,000 members who enjoyed exclusive access to live trading webinars, Q&A sessions, and daily trading tips that actually works. All for free, just because they are a part of Trading Bastards community. I also have a premium mentorship program in which I work with traders one-on-one and teach them everything I've learned in 11 years of trading. If you want to take things to a whole new level, this program is definitely for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find all the useful links in the description below. See you in the next video.